Howdy folks, this is Matt with Shady Grove Ranch in Jefferson, Texas. I'm doing this video because I was thinking about writing some grit articles, some APA grit. APA grit articles. Now I'm not trying to be a corn dog. I actually was already wearing this stuff. I just went out tonight, and when I go out I wear my fancy clothes. So, but David Haberkorn with Morris Hill Farms was asking about tips for feed lines in brooder houses or range coops. So I was going to write some APA grid articles about basics of brooder house stuff, and well, why not just do a video? So we're in the brooder house, and these birdies need to go out. They're 3 weeks old, they're big and ready, but I haven't put them out yet. So one of the problems with doing a feed line in a brooder house is that the big feed pans that are typically used, they're too big for these little bitty chicks. So what do? We took all of our turbo feeders and we drilled little holes in them, and I put some 7-inch, I bought packages of 50 7-inch bungee straps. We got these little drops right here you can just put down. Whoop. And I have far too many on this line, so I'm only using half of them. The reason we do this is because, well, baby chicks are good at being able to get feed out of a turbo feeder, but turbo feeders are good for up to 3 weeks old if you can raise them. If you can't raise them, they waste tons of feed. So that's how we figured out how to raise them right there. We do our little custom adjusties up and down like that, real easy, so you can get that. Oh my goodness, I can't believe I just kicked that off of there. That has never happened before in the history of Shady Grove. Anyway, I'm used to embarrassments. This system's really nice, but you do have to just come down here morning and evening and level some of the feeders. It's not a big deal. You walk down, you level the ones that are out of kilter, and you walk back and you put them back in place. Now here's the deal. The last feed pan, that's your trouble spot, especially when they're baby chicks, because the baby chicks cannot empty out the feed pan quick enough. So what happens is it fills up with feed. That's not a normal feed pan. The normal feed pans are right there, but we don't want those for baby chicks. So you hang them up on your wall, the back of your brooder house. What we do is we just have them empty into these black feed buckets. And I'm going to show you why this feeder is not running right now. There's a really good reason for it. So twice a day, morning and evening, you come and you see, whoa, goodness gravy, I'm scaring chicks. So this one actually is full. So I'm just going to take this and, oh my goodness, it's going to be hard to do with one hand. So I'm not. Empty it into the nearest feeders. And we're done. Look how easy that was. Even Mike Badger could do it. That was a joke. I love Mike. He just needs more attention in his life. Alright, so then we put that guy back there, and that's gonna, well, so I've got basically 70-80 feet of line right there, and I have a percentage timer on the other side which controls my motor. So the percentage timer is set at 2%. If you don't know what that means, I'll show you in just a minute. And that 2% is gonna only turn on for 2% of every hour. And that's gonna be enough to fill up my feeders, to keep them full, especially since the chickies are 3 weeks old now, they're eating a lot of feed. So it was 1%, but it'll fill up those feeders, and any excess it'll dump into the pan. Apparently they have been eating this line a little bit more. I got a couple of empty feeders, just because the feed, most of it did not even, they eat the feed, the level drops down below the drop feeder right here, and the next time the auger turns on, whatever's remaining in the feed lines fills up your, the feeder right in front of it first, and then the excess goes all the way to the end, okay? So we have about 3 birds worth of excess, not birds, 3 pans worth of excess. Whatever, you know what I'm talking about. We didn't have quite enough feed, but that's okay, they don't care. It's not that big of a deal. you can see we did try these guys. Problem with these is, well, they're too tall, and baby chicks, like they can't even really start to utilize these until they're 3 weeks old. And then when they do, if you don't cut every other bar out like I did, they get stuck in there. And even if they don't get stuck in there, they poop all over the place. Terrible idea. Who came up with that? Somebody who likes to feed 3 week and older chicks, that's who. So I came up with this idea. Now you can buy a fancy turbo feeder that straps right onto here. They just cost like 12 bucks each. And I've got like 50 of them in here. And I didn't want to drop a cool grand to do something that I wasn't sure if it was going to work anyway. So I did this instead. So I really want to take these out of here someday. And we will try to implement those back in the pasture, doing line feeders in the pasture again. I tried it last year. It was a dismal failure. So notice I'm not having to adjust that many. I had to adjust about 3 on the way down. And these last 5 are pretty bad. But hey, guess what? You gotta walk your brooder twice a day anyway. So we're just adjusting these, leveling them up, or else they start to just really waste some feed underneath. If you can get this set up though, this is the way to do it. Really low labor. Yeah, these birdies need to go out, all right? But they are super healthy. Whew, we're gonna have a big day getting all these birds out to pasture. Let me show you the percentage timer over here. There's different ones that you can use. I bought the cheapos. This is, you can get this off of Amazon. So I have this set. My cycle time is 1 hour. My percentage right now is 2%. Real simple. I'm not going to do it because I don't want to run it right now. Y'all can figure it out. I found that in the brooder house, the secret to brooder housing is percentage timers. Yes, sir. I've got percentage timers on my fans, on my lights, and in addition to a thermostat that controls the fans. Also, if it gets too hot, it says forget the percentage timer. We're gonna suck as much air in here as we need. Well, I hope that wasn't too random. Thanks for watching. This is Matt, Shady Grove Ranch, Jefferson, Texas.